Hi friends, I'm so happy to present Paper Discovery's new Timeless collection. This release includes 6 products and the first large die set is called Timeless Room and it includes 14 dies to build up an interior scene with. The next one is a die and stamp set called Time is on Your Hands and it's meant to create a really large tabletop clock as well as the pocket watch. Another die set is called Timeless Panels and those panels coordinate beautifully with the room as well as with the clock. There are also 2 embossing folders in this release. One of them creates an A5 size room with the floor and Baroque style panels. And another one makes beautiful background and it also coordinates with the clock die set. There is also a large stamp set that works beautifully with all the dies. Let's have a closer look at the Timeless Room die set that I'm going to use to make a card. It has a lot of elements like a very big fireplace, an armchair, a potted plant, a floor lamp, and a bunch of smaller accessories. Working with this die set is really easy. You can just play around with the dies, building up different room scenes, and you can kind of see how they are going to look on the finished project. So that was the fireplace scene, and now we can change up the dies and build a kind of reading nook. Speaking about compatibility of this die set, it of course works totally with the Timeless Room die set from the previous release. All the images are the same scale, so you can mix and match them and create even more room variations. I just love how the sleeping dog looks in front of the new fireplace. The old table works beautifully with the new telephone, and so does the new table. Basically, any image works with any other one. And of course, the window die set works beautifully with both rooms. Now let's get started with a card. I have created a 5x7 card base out of black mirror cardstock. This beautiful product is by Tonic Studios. I'm going to place one of the timeless panels onto the card front. I'm making sure that I have the same size border at the top and at the bottom and on the right side, and then I'm taping down the die. I'm opening up the card base and then I'm going to send it through the die cutting machine. I didn't use the matching outline die, so this pattern cuts right into the panel. Now I am removing the negative small die cuts. And then I'm going to back up this pattern with the cream cardstock. I used the matching outline die to die cut this plain panel. Then I'm going to apply some liquid glue at the wrong side of the pattern. And then I'm going to stick down that cream strip of cardstock on the wrong side of my card. I really try to apply as little adhesive as possible because I have a shiny card front and any traces of glue are going to be visible on it. So that makes the background of my card. Now I only have to apply some of the furniture elements onto the card front. So I have decided to use the armchair and the potted plant and also the small square pillow. I've die cut the entire plant out of green cardstock And there is also a matching pot die that I've die cut out of cream cardstock, the same one that I used to back up the panel. I'm sticking that pot on top of the plant, and this element is ready to go on a card. The armchair is a bit trickier. It has two dies. I've die cut just the outline out of cream, then I used both dies to create this frame. And finally, I used just an insert to die cut all those elements out of green paper, the same one I used for the plant. To assemble the armchair, I'm going to apply some glue at the wrong side of the golden frame, and I'm sticking it down onto the background. You can use the armchair even as it is, but I'm also going to add the green upholstery. I'm placing this die cut, which is the back of the armchair, into the die, and I'm going to stencil through the openings. I'm applying ground espresso distress ink with a sponge applicator. You can also use the same die to emboss this pattern instead of stenciling. Next, I'm going to add each of the upholstery pieces into the golden frame. They come together very easily, just like a jigsaw puzzle. I'm just applying liquid glue onto each section, and then I'm sticking down the green die cut. The smallest pieces are hard to manipulate with just your hands, so I'm using a pickup pencil. It's a very handy and a very inexpensive pickup tool available at Craft Stash. To create a square pillow, I've die cut the image twice out of cream cardstock and out of gold, and now I'm going to layer the cream die cut on top of the golden one. As you see, I didn't pop out the tiny negative die cuts from the golden piece. Instead, I'm going to apply some double-sided tape at the wrong side. It's going to keep all those pieces on their place, and I'm also going to use the same tape to stick down the pillow later on. So now I'm ready to add all the elements. I'm applying some tape onto the plant, and I'm going to stick it down right onto the card front, and I'm going to align the bottom of the pot with the bottom of the decorative panel here. Next comes the chair. I have decided to use the double-sided foam tape to attach it. This is going to add a little bit of that beautiful dimension. Then I'm going to stick down the square pillow onto the armchair. At this point, the scene looks almost complete, but there is still something missing in it. And of course, the thing that is missing is a cat. This cat image is from Tag Window Editions die set from the previous release. I've die cut it out of black shiny cardstock, the same one that I used for the background, and now I'm attaching it onto the armchair with the foam squares. In order to make this card work for the new year, I'm going to add 2020 for my sentiment. The number die set I'm using is also by Paper Discovery. If you want to know how to create a sticker sheet with this die set, I do have a tutorial on my YouTube channel. This is what the finished project looks like. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Stay tuned because I'm going to be back with another card making video.